Hi, my name is Father Perry Mullins, and I'm the rector of St. Peter's Episcopal Church in McKinney, Texas. I've been thinking a lot lately about the demands that the world places on us. We live in a world that requires a lot of us, our time and our energy and our money. And in that world, we choose certain priorities. One of the priorities that I've chosen is the church, and as I look around on Sunday mornings, I see so many other people here who have done the same. Why do we choose the church? In this video series, you'll hear from a number of our parishioners answering that question. Why the church?
We've been at St. Peter's for 3 or 4 years, but I'm a lifelong Episcopalian. So I grew up in an Episcopal church, and Chris and I were married in the Episcopal church, and then we looked at several different Episcopal churches around the neighborhood, but once we found St. Peter's, we stayed and came once and have never left.
A random summer we came here. Our oldest, Ruby Claire, was 18 months old, and the sermon just spoke to me, and I felt like it was very poignant to that week, like very specific for me, and I was like, wow, that's kind of amazing. Like, that's exactly what I need to hear today. And then we came back the next Sunday, and I was like, that's exactly what I needed to hear today. And I felt like I had a good 3 or 4 weeks there where I was like, that was the exact message I needed, and I felt a very personal connection just to the sermon here, and that was something I hadn't felt, probably in a decade since I'd been in church. I felt like I was just going to church, and it was just kind of formal, and here's where I'm supposed to be, but I was never connecting until we walked in here. And we decided pretty instantly that this was going to be our home.
I've been coming to St. Peter's basically since I was born. I grew up in this church, and it feels like home at this point.
When my parents moved to McKinney and I was born, it wasn't until I was around 2.5 years old, which was 12 years ago, that I first came to St. Peter's.
The church family is amazing here. We just felt so welcome, and the ministries that go on here, there's some place for everyone to be involved and to share their talent that they have.
Yeah, I think a lot of times people ask you that question, why St. Peter's? And it really is truly a place you can hang your hat.
There's a genuineness here that just everyone seems
Right.
to genuinely care about you and the community.
I came to St. Peter's as a child. I'm actually a 5th generation McKinney native. My mother brought us here when I was 6 years old by way of St. Michael's Catholic Church, where most of my family still attends. I stay because even as a child and as a young adult, I've moved away from McKinney, but each time I've found my way back home. As McKinney is in my hometown, St. Peter's is my home church. So
I've been at St. Peter's since the spring of 2016. My wife and I moved to McKinney, be near our oldest daughter and grandchildren. We did a little bit of church shopping. A recent friend that my wife had formed invited us to St. Peter's one Sunday, and we've been back every Sunday ever since.
We came to St. Peter's because we rented the house next door. And we were 29 years old, and it was really easy to wake up at 10:30 and roll out of bed and get here by 11, and that's true. We stayed because we loved the community here. We had trouble making friends when we moved to McKinney, and I don't know if it was because we didn't have kids yet and we had trouble engaging with other families, but St. Peter's has just become our community here. And Ryan mentioned when we were chatting that St. Peter's is our McKinney. This is everything for us.
Hi, I'm Mother Kathy Heitman, and I'm the Associate Rector at St. Peter's Episcopal Church. You just had the opportunity to hear from some members of our church family about why they have said yes to the church, and specifically to St. Peter's. We would love to hear from you about why you want to say yes. Join us Sunday, November 3rd at one of our services at 8, 9, or 11. and join us for a parish-wide luncheon afterwards.